If you're seeing this video, you're probably aware that a game you love is getting a collaboration with some anime gacha thing, and you have absolutely no idea what is going on, what this game is, and why it's collaborating with one of the greats of the hack and slash genre. That's where this video comes in. We'll go over what this game is, why you, as a DMC fan, should be interested about it, and how to play and the fun stuff there is to do in it. Welcome to PGR. So what is PGR? PGR, or Punishing Grey Raven, is an anime-style hack-and-slash action RPG. It combines the slick, combo-driven combat with a post-apocalyptic setting. In gameplay, you, the player, control these constructs directly. Each construct has unique weapons, playstyle, and special abilities. Think if Devil May Cry and Nier Automata had a weeb child obsessed with Match 3 games. So why should you, a DMC player, be excited for this collab and be playing this game? First of all, and most importantly, the combat. This game is a hack and slash with one of the best combat experiences out there. Not even in its niche genre, but in general. Is it on par with Devil May Cry? Probably not, but it's definitely extremely good. Has a high skill ceiling and expression, and the style of combat fits perfectly for a collab with the characters of the Devil May Cry series. This game particularly cooks hard with collabs like this, the last major one being with Nier, funnily enough, where they imported 2B's entire ass moveset into the game. That sets a pretty good precedent for this one, but we can expect Dante and Virgil's movesets. Maybe not in their entirety, but at least a very good part of it. We can already see in the showcase, all 3 of Virgil's weapons are there, and Dante's motorcycle even made the cut, as well as both of the Sin Devil triggers and all. My hope is they managed to fit in the perfect judgment cut chaining for Virgil, because that feels nice to hit. Anyway, this is all great and all, but if you want to actually start this game, how does it work, and what do you do to prepare? So when you arrive in the main menu, it's going to look something like this, with probably a different background, and a lot of buttons will be locked. This is fine. In the first hour or two, you'll unlock most of it through playing the admittedly outdated story. Kuro, making an updated new player experience would really boost new player retention. So for the first tip, I recommend making good use of that skip button till about chapter 11 and reading a summary online if you care about the admittedly good later on story. You probably unlock everything before then, but I'll admit it's a bit of a slog early on. For the second tip, very important, you can have a mentor to speed up your leveling and unlock the fun stuff much faster. This is very important to making better progress, so make sure to get one. So once you get to the fun part, what actually is it? Well, here are the main interesting ones you'll mostly be playing. What we call Warzone is your horde fighter mode. Fight wave after wave of like common or elite enemies, and try and get as far as possible while taking as little damage as possible in a certain time limit. Your score being the combined of how much damage you took and how much wave you cleared. In Phantom Pain Cage, this is the boss fight game mode. You fight through bosses with increasing difficulty, 3 bosses per week with 3 difficulty levels. You can even choose between a simpler and a harder version of this mode at the start of every week. In Norman Revival Plan, this is my personal hell. Probably the mode that gets me the most tilted. Hard fights through several levels with enemy buffs that'll make you slam your keyboard. As a newer player, don't worry about it if you can't fully clear it. Just do what you can if you want to do it. Clash Reflection. You have to maintain a win streak through as many levels as you can. Any damage you take during your run isn't healed between levels, so avoid getting hit. The only way to heal will be with characters that can actually heal. And finally, what I'm going to call the alternative interpretation game modes. These are the roguelikes. Though I have a particular soft spot for Cursed Waves, very fun for making your strong characters as broken as you can get them. And I even already have several videos of wacky broken builds on that game mode. Not enough? If you want more custom fights, you have Sedeka's class, where you can try and learn every character. Yes, every character. If you want to play them, have fun. You can test them out. More importantly, fight most enemies you've encountered at a customizable fight. Even bosses. You can adjust the difficulty as you wish to make the fight a cakewalk or a real test of skill. May I personally recommend the Hetero Hive Mother, or as we in chat like to call it, the Parry Ball. Have fun making your sick parry montage. And if you still want more, you have big endgame one-off modes like the Border and Sequence Pacts, as well as limited time events. For the next tip, you want to be careful using all the stuff given to you early on, especially the free S ranks, etc. Make sure you look into who you want, whether you care about meta or not. You don't want to regret later seeing a character on YouTube and be like, oh man, I could have gotten them. So look at what your options are and what they do before just choosing one randomly. But since I know you're here for Dante and Virgil, let's take a look quickly at who are the best to prepare as their future teammates. For Dante first, his best teammate that you can get right now is Watanabe Epitaph, a fire tank that can also dish out great damage, and his other great teammate is going to be the new Vera Gay... Oh god, how do you pronounce this? Well, basically, the new Vera frame, which will come out soon, which as of writing this script is not out yet on the global version. Another downside is she is projected to come out right before Dante and Virgil, so if you're saving your black cards to get them and their stuff, you might not want to get her, but you should have enough. I'll let you be the judge of that yourself, depending on how much you're playing. So you could instead use Liv Imperia, who is much more easily obtainable these days. For Virgil, it's going to be Alyssa Echo, who is free in the dorm shop, so no need to worry there, and Hangying Solistune. And if you can't, Rosetta Rigger should be a more easily obtainable option. Now, for a tip on actually getting characters, never, and I mean never, use your currency on the fate banners. As said by many before me, they are a scam and will always end up in you losing in the long run. This game's quote-unquote gacha is barely a gacha if you ignore the fate banners. A character comes at 15,000 black cards, which is totally attainable between major character releases, and come completely playable as is, unlike certain games with lock abilities behind weapons. To hit their max potential, you do need the weapon and the cub, but these are obtainable at any time with a very low pity, so you can just grab them when you feel like investing in a character more, or when you have extra black cards later on. One last tip. The Grey Ravens website is your best friend. It contains all the info you'll ever need, team comps, builds, story summary, etc. If you get a character and you want to build them, no need to look up a build guide on YouTube, just open up the character's Grey Ravens page and you'll have a build for every situation at every stage of the game. The YouTube videos are great for gameplay and more in-depth tech for sure, but if you just need to know what memories and resonances you need, just go to Grey Ravens, it'll save you so much time. I'll leave a link in the description or pinned comment, or just Google Grey Ravens, you'll find it. So that's it for the tips of this video. If you want me to add in any more, or make a more in-depth guide about other stuff in gameplay, if you have other questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll go through every single comment as I always do, and I'll make a follow-up video depending on the community asked questions. Anyway, with all of that being said, if you did enjoy the video, make sure you subscribe. I'm really trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. That would be really great. And yeah, with all that being said, hope you have a nice day and hope you enjoy the game.